I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon, and we will grow. And I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Now, if you observe that Saturn is becoming direct, and this is a very unique direct motion of Saturn. If you observe, I uploaded a video on the stationary Saturn. I explained in details, in depth, what is a stationary Saturn all about. It is the beginning of a new phase of our life. It's a beginning of new dimension of our life, a new kind of aura, a new realm that comes for us. It's a new timeline. Now, why am I saying this? Why am I giving this emphasis on Saturn direct motion? Well, Saturn becomes direct twice in one zodiac sign because Saturn stays for 2.5 years, which means it should be a natural phenomena. It happens every year, but this time it is happening in the zodiac sign of Aquarius for last, because the next time it will come back to Aquarius, it will be 27 years from now. So you can see that it is once in a lifetime opportunity for many of us, and it can be a golden opportunity to harness the power of the Shani Dev. We will discuss all that in detail. This is a technical breakdown video, so this will definitely appeal to a lot of astrology enthusiasts. And even if you're a layman watching this, try to understand the importance of the Saturn's direct motion in its Moola Trikona zodiac sign called Aquarius, the natural 11th house, which represents gain, prosperity, network connections. Let's discuss, but I will definitely ask you to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, share the video among family and friends, share the video in your social media so that the word of Vedic astrology spreads. And also, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me through the link given in the description. If you want to take my consultation, you can drop me an email. And if you want to book a comprehensive system generated but a 300 plus pages report, it's a Kundali PDF report that basically gives you the idea about your life. It gives you the idea about your personality. It gives you a snapshot of 10 years of prediction. It gives you different graph, Mahadasha, Antardasha, all your charts and divisional charts. And it is a good read. It's something that you can keep with you and can always refer to. It will just stay in your phone, and it is a quick tip, a quick guidance when you don't have anything else right at the moment when you need. And this gives you some specific remedies also, which is easy to follow and something that you can do. You can book that report. The link is in the description box below. There is a bonus numerology section in that report also. Let's start the analysis of direct Saturn in Aquarius. So Saturn, when it moves in direct motion, it is called the usual movement of a planet. It is therefore the natural way the Saturn behaves in a horoscope, which means that the Shani Dev is going to perform the way it should perform in Aquarius, Mool Trikona Rashi of the Shani Dev, and this means that it is going to start the positive results on all of us. But to understand this, you have to understand the nakshatra movement of Shani Dev. It was in Purva Bhadrapada, then it fell back to the Shatabhisha nakshatra, and now it is coming direct in Shatabhisha. So it is a very healing time for all of us. That is why it is very important, because this healing time is so crucial that you can extract the Moola Trikona results of Shani Dev in your life. And if you are a Saturn dominated person, if you have Saturn connected with Moon or Ascendant or Sun, if you have Capricorn or Aquarius as the Ascendant, if you are running a Shani Dasha, Mahadasha, or if Saturn is a favorable planet for you, if it is a Yoga Karaka planet, this is going to be a fabulous time for you. You will be able to heal yourself not only mentally and emotionally, but you will see some breakthroughs happening in your life that will motivate you, that will keep things positive. But because a direct motion of a planet is a usual motion, it's a usual transit motion, we need to figure out what is happening around the planet, what is happening around Saturn during this time. This time Saturn is having 8th aspect of Mars when it becomes direct. Don't forget this. When Saturn is moving in direct motion, it is heavily impacted by Mars. First, Mars transformative, destructive aspect, 8th aspect falls because Mars is in Cancer and Saturn is in Aquarius. And next, Mars will move in the month of June to the sign of Leo. And remember, when Mars moves to Leo and Saturn is in Pisces, again Mars have 8th aspect on Saturn. So Mars 8th aspect on Saturn is going to stay for a considerable amount of time, and this is something not normal, this is something not usual. A debilitated Mars is kind of an energy that wants to express but cannot. It is not finding the right suitable environment, and the emotions are being piled up. There is a volcano brewing inside your heart and it wants to express itself, but somehow there is a suppression of Shani Dev because Saturn was aspecting the zodiac sign of Mars, Aries and Scorpio since January 2023. It is still aspecting Martian zodiac sign, but now Mars is kind of taking a revenge. Mars is countering the Saturn's aspect, and Mars is aspecting Saturn's zodiac sign and Saturn with 8th aspect. So for a lot of people who were unable to move in their life, everything was stopping, timing was not right, things were not moving, suddenly you will take certain steps out of emotional urge that will break the boundary. So it's more like a boundary breaking, path breaking, record breaking transit for a lot of people, especially for someone who has a powerful Sun and powerful Mars. You will try to create things according to your favor. You will try to mend and bend the circumstances in your favor. Now, to a certain extent, I will call this as a positive move, but the moment you cross a certain level, Saturn will punish you, because even if you are coming under the influence of Mars, I repeat, even if you are coming under the influence of Mars and doing some karma, all karma comes under the domain of Shani Dev. That means what you do with Saturn, the result will also be given by the Saturn itself, and that can be destructive. So what does this mean? This means that if you're having this emotional urge to react, to destroy something, to take drastic decision in your life, to bring a radical change or radical transformation, you need to figure out how much do you really need that. Are you overestimating? Are you exaggerating? Are you taking a giant leap here? Or is it like a natural phenomena in your life? In some cases, this kind of breaking the boundaries and crossing the limit is needed. Say you are at minus 50, you need to go to plus 100. You need some radical steps to go there. But what if this is something that you don't need? What if this is something that you are already comfortable, but just because you are emotionally disconnected, you are feeling monotonous, you are feeling lethargic, you are feeling humiliated because someone said something to you, you want to prove a point, because Mars in the Ashlesha nakshatra, remember Mars in Puja is also Shani's Mars, because it is Saturn's in Saturn's nakshatra. It is healing. This transit will be healing as long as Mars enters Ashlesha. The moment Mars enters Ashlesha, it is going to be a huge battlefield. On top of that, Mars will become retrograde on 7th of December, and this retrograde Mars also has an aspect on Shani Dev. But Saturn is no longer retrograde. So the Cheshta bal of Mars increases. So the month of December and January kind of pushes too hard to make things your way. Now this is where you will have to be very, very careful. Say you are trying something and it is not happening. So how much is too much? That is the question that you will have to ask. And according to your Dasha, Mahadasha, some will become successful and many will not be able to break through. In fact, it will be more like pushing the ball, because Mars really don't have the power. It's all in emotion, it's exaggerated, heightened feeling, but in reality, Saturn is far more stable. It's sitting like a rock. So the question is that if Bhagwan Krishna is lifting Govardhan, there is a reason. It's not reckless beating around the bush. It's not recklessly aiming for the things. It's not violating the laws, but there has to be a meaning. So if your mammoth task in your mind have a substance, have a meaning, it will become successful. But if it is just wild imagination and you are just willing to give it a try for fun, well, to a limited extent, it's okay. Everybody has the right to, give it a try. But beyond a certain level, you will lose wealth. Because in the war between Mars and Saturn, it's Saturn who will win. This direct Saturn will aspect Aries, Leo and Scorpio. So with the third aspect, this is going to make you remember your weakness. This will want to correct and heal your gaps and weakness in your life. Yes, Mars really is not powerful enough to make it happen quickly, but that's okay. Saturn is actually a slow planet. So you take it slowly. You take it nicely. Don't rush. Saturn may also make you think a little fearful, like negative during this time, especially if you are a water-based zodiac sign such as Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. Why? Try to understand that Saturn is experiencing Ketu in the 8th house from itself. Now Aquarius is co-ruled by Rahu. There's a school of thought which says Rahu is the owner of Aquarius along with Saturn, because Aquarius is a zodiac sign of technology, artificial intelligence. So you will see all that becoming successful, the technological breakthrough happening in different countries, all the resistance going away, and the AI and machine learning technology becoming very powerful, entering every. So you can see that progress, that radical change. You can say this is the time where the change is equivalent to life moving from newspaper to mobile phones. A huge shift. It's like the Apple Steve Jobs moment. That is kind of the energy Saturn brings when it moves in Aquarius. Now, I was talking about Rahu, which is the co-ruler of Aquarius. Rahu is second from Saturn. So naturally, the entire aim of Shanidev will be to also fulfill positive Rahu things. So anyone who is involved into technology, anyone who is involved into media and communication, medical sciences, scientific research, marine biology, you will see great success in your career during this time. So a lot of people will also opt for scientific achievements, and some scientific achievements that happens throughout the world will fascinate young minds. So if you really want to open a tech channel, maybe this is the time. So now the thing is that you see Ketu is 8th from Shanidev, highly occult placement. Rahu is 2nd from Shanidev. Mars is aspecting Shanidev. So Mars in a way is also doing a little bit good here. Why? Say Saturn tries to push too much, because Saturn is the planet of karma, and people can hurt your ego because Saturn aspects Leo. And if your sun is weak, you need to be careful. Don't fight with your authority, supervisors, bosses. Be humble during this time. And Mars kind of puts a check also, that Saturn, if you are pushing the boundary, I am here to convert and change that. So it's more like Saturn wants to push, but Saturn itself is tied by a rope that is pulling him behind. Because if you observe the position of Mars in the sign of Cancer, Mars is aspecting Libra. And Libra is Dharmasthan for Shani, because Libra as a zodiac sign is 9th from Aquarius. That means the entire dharma of the karma dhipati, Shanidev, is under the protective aspect of Mars. That means this is the time when you will feel to uphold the dharma. You will feel that what is right and you should speak about it. So a lot of, you can say, protests and a lot of voicing will happen during this time. Nothing is wrong as long as it is by law and peaceful. You will see that happening throughout the world, and the justice will prevail. But Jupiter is retrograde, and Jupiter is retrograde 4th from Saturn. Matters related to land, agriculture, real estate might take a little bit of hit. Be careful. Certain areas might see a sudden weird jump, and certain areas will see a sudden weird downfall. It will be a little unpredictable. Now, health-wise, this transit holds greatest importance. After all, the Saturn is becoming direct in Shatabhisha Nakshatra, the nakshatra where the life comes full circle, the nakshatra of healing and medical achievement. You need structure, and that is what Saturn wants you to do. Follow the path of structure. Give up procrastination. You know what will happen with debilitated Mars aspecting Saturn? You will think to do the karma, you will plan a lot, but in reality, while you are actually executing, you will see certain roadblocks and hurdles, and that will put down your motivation. So you need to sometimes go ahead and plan and do it. Don't just keep it in your books. Don't keep things in your mind. Health-wise, this is important because it wants you to focus on your health and move towards pranayam and yoga. I have discussed in detail the importance of Saturn, the Vayu Tattva, about the pranayam in my Saturn stationary video. This is the thumbnail. Do check that out. After this video, do go and watch that video. I have discussed what Saturn stationary means. Even if you are watching this after say 2 months, still you go and watch. At least it will give you some information, some backtracking of the events that might have happened in your life when Saturn was stationary. It will give you a more insight into life. When Saturn goes into Purva Bhadrapada, this is the time when you will have to push for greater stability. There will be some sacrifices that will be asked from you. Emotionally, this can be a time where you will have to be very practical, and sometimes you might sound rude, but it is better to say no rather to say yes and feel sorry and guilty about it. So you need to be a little bit clearer in your thoughts and clearer in your communication, kind of little bit straightforward, not too rude, but still a little bit straightforward. That is the mixture this Saturn in Sadvisha is trying to give you. Spiritually, it's a great transit. It's once in a lifetime chance to correct your mistakes, do something that you think impossible, and Saturn will help you achieve that. It may take a little longer than usual than you have planned, so keep some buffer, whether it is a corporate deadline or whether it is your fitness. Give yourself some room to breathe, but if you keep moving, if you keep doing it, it will happen as expected. Maybe not sooner than expected, but it will happen eventually. That is the beauty of this transit. Saturn's 10th aspect will fall on Scorpio. The Scorpio is one zodiac sign which is going to be happy about things. You know why? Because if you see Saturn having 10th aspect on Scorpio, Scorpio experiences Mars 9 houses away. So Saturn will motivate Scorpio as a zodiac sign. I will make special video about the Scorpio as a zodiac and what to expect from it, but just a hint here. Scorpio will become highly active in your zodiac sign, in your horoscope, while Saturn and Mars have this energy play happening in the cosmos right now. And wherever Scorpio is in your horoscope, it will trigger some event related to that bhava. And this event will not be very on the face, it will happen somewhere behind the scene. If you have that occult eyes, if you have that intuitive power, you will be able to see the real picture, the real game happening in your life. Big things will happen, positive things will happen. In aspects related to land and real estate, FMCG goods, you will see progress. But if things are already in dispute, you will see slowly over a period of time, it will come to a solution. Even if the problem was long standing from many, many years, any matter related to justice will be resolved and it will come to a conclusion. Saturn's direct motion also triggers karmic response. It teaches you karmic lessons. It makes you connect to people who are karmically connected to you. So suddenly this can give you an opportunity to get married. Suddenly this can make you meet your life partner, your friend, a business partner. But whatever happens, happens because it is somewhat connected through the strings of karma that spans multiple births. Now, it just means that you have to take responsibility towards the lessons of life. You have to commit for the long-term goal, and you have to fulfill the unfinished task, and you have to be actively engaged in it. So at last, I will only say when Saturn moves in Aquarius, it brings a combination of discipline and innovation. Because it is in its own sign, the impact will be long-lasting, lifelong impact. And if you are an Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon sign, it is an extremely important transit for you because it impacts your life like nobody else will be impacted like that. So try to take the karmic lessons. Social reform will definitely happen. Technology-driven change will happen because I have written some notes here. Humanitarian efforts will be taken place throughout the world. But moreover, on top of that, you will learn your karmic lesson, which is very, very important when Saturn is direct in the sign of Aquarius. Duty and commitment is the theme, and you will also be given all the resources. But you know, I will give you a hint. In this one example, maybe you will understand what this transit is, how it will play. Remember when we used to go and give examination in mathematics, the problem statement was this big, huge problem statement. But all the data that was given in the problem statement was actually not needed to solve the problem, solve the equation. It is you who will have to figure out of 5 data, 3 are enough to solve the problem. This Rahu in the second house from this Saturn and Mars aspect on Saturn, Mars becoming trine from Rahu is going to do that. Sometimes you will have this great technological boost, great motivation and over enthusiasm, and you will try to execute it because you want to convert it into karma. 3 out of 5 is needed. So you need to also figure out when to stop, how much is too much. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you subscribe and share the video. More videos coming soon. Ascendant wise analysis of Saturn transit in Aquarius will be live soon on this channel. Stay tuned, subscribe and stay connected.